Welcome to Jotea. I'm Jodie, and let's spill that Love Island Australia tea. Week 6 of Love Island Australia, and we are very close to the final. We are starting to cut off the dead weight, and we're narrowing down who's going to be in the final. We kicked off straight from last week's drama from Hotel Amore. Everybody got back, and Gabby is literally kicking and screaming that nobody is allowed to talk to Jotham, and especially not his new girl. If you speak to them, you're not her friend. She's literally telling the guys, you're not allowed to speak to them, or you won't be my friend. If you speak to them, you're not my friend. I felt like the girls didn't really have her back. Like, as soon as she turned her back, Sharn and Tamara were literally giggling with the new girls. What was that all about? Because when Boston and Mia came in and stole Sharn's man, but she was so mean that you just didn't want to be friends with Boston because Sharn was being the way she was. But now Gabby's man from literally week 1 has recoupled with a bombshell, brought her back to the villa, and you guys are sitting with Jade giggling and laughing. I just felt like that was a little bit weird. They just didn't have her back. Gabby was definitely way over the top, but I thought they would have been more comforting to her. And she literally looks down at them and she's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And Tamara was like, oh my god, Sharn. She's saying, what are we doing? What should I do? Because they all look to Sharn to see what should they do, how should they behave. Have your own brain. I don't like Tamara after this week. I'm pretty much over her. Because I feel like this week she has literally seen all the other couples having issues and she's almost tried to take them issues and make them her own. She has no problems with Mateo at all, and she's created drama out of thin air. I don't actually know her problem. I think she's trying to push him away. That's what it feels like. It feels like she's pushing him away and then treating him like he's the problem. That he's not the problem, honey. You are the problem. Because you're acting like, I don't know, I actually don't know what her problem is. My only problem with Jotham is obviously how straight up he is in Gabby's face. But as the week progressed, I did feel like he was being respectful towards her. He wasn't like going overboard. Him and Jade are very all over each other though, just naturally. They seem like that type of couple that's just is all over each other. But Jotham was the same way with Gabby, so he is just that type of person, I think. I really think that Kai is just a dumbass. The way he's talking to Yana to try and get back in her good books is just so dumb. And the way she's responding to it makes her even worse, because literally within a day this week she was back on his side, kissing him and all over him. And it's like, babes, he literally just cheated on you. And you are back in his arms, letting him massage you and cuddling in bed. I mean, I'm pretty sure they literally were sleeping together in the room, giving everybody a show, and they didn't care because they were back together. Yana is just as dumb as he is, and they deserve each other. I really thought this week was going to be the week that Boston and Mick got together. They were really cute. I'm telling you, they were being cute. Thinking back on it, it wasn't exactly cute, because she went over to him and basically told him that she wanted to kiss him, and he wasn't going for it. He was like, yeah, I'm harder to get than that, you have to wait. So thinking back on it, maybe it wasn't cute. Maybe it was very clear that he didn't want to cross them lines and it was just friendship, and she didn't want to accept that. But by the next day, after being all cuddled up with her and lovey-dovey, the next day he was making pancakes for Emma and trying to get to know Emma. And then he literally admitted that he was playing a game. He admitted that he's playing a game. Ross called him out and was like, the game is that you jump to every new bombshell because you want to stay in the villa. And he was like, yeah. So he literally admitted that he's playing a game. Mick is not here for love. He's in here to get to the final. When he did his recoupling speech, it really did sound like to me at first that he was going to pick Boston, but then he ended up choosing Emma. I mean, at the end of the day, fair enough. We're good on that. Boston, you're better off going home than being in a couple with Mick, because he's here to jump around. He's not here for a relationship. He really does bounce girl from girl. But honestly, I think he would have had a better chance getting to the finals with Boston and playing that fake storyline of them being friends on the outside instead of just jumping from every girl. But I think as well, what's interesting is Mick is never actually physical with any of the girls. It seems like when it gets to that point where they want to actually be physical with him, he's like, not really interested, I'm gonna go to the next. So maybe he's not interested in girls that way. This week we also seen Dylan become more interested in Gabby. Honestly, I think he's just becoming interested in the only available islander in there. It doesn't really make sense to go at any of the bombshells because they're not safe. Gabby's safe. I don't think he's actually interested in Gabby like that. We already know the deal with islanders that come on more than once. But it did come to this week's dumping, and it was a bit of a twist. So the 6 OGs had to choose who they wanted to couple up with. They chose everybody, and then they had the option to save one other person. And weirdly enough, I mean, not weirdly because they chose their friend, but they were told to pick someone they think will find love in there, and they chose Tamara. She's not finding love in there. She doesn't want to. She feels too pressurized in the environment. Therefore, she doesn't want to make a connection in Love Island. She then picks Mateo, which screws his head up even more because he's like, oh, obviously if you chose to recouple, you want to work on things, and she really doesn't, because she sat him down then and was like, not really feeling it. And yeah, she's just weird. I don't know what she wants from Mateo. She's just fucking with his head. She wants him to be the villain and her to be the victim. In the end, I think the OGs got their final wish with Boston and Mia being dumped. They didn't get to last long because of them. They're going home pretty quick. I do want to know though if Mick and Boston remained friends on the outside. Did they actually get in contact and still remain friends? Because they are in the same friend group. I want to know if they put the villa behind them and moved forward. The final four though that was dumped was Boston, Mia, Bailey and Alex. They were all dumped, and I mean, unfortunately Mia and Alex were getting close to each other, so it's unfortunate they didn't get to explore that enough in the villa. I think the OGs should have saved Mia because she was the only one with actual connection in there. Everybody could see that Tamara and Mateo almost borderline hate each other at this point. Bailey literally flew to Spain for no reason because he was in and out, and then he was sent home. Then we got to movie night, and I mean, it was a good movie night. There was a lot of drama, there was a lot of screaming, but my favorite part was everybody realizing that Sharn is actually a bitch. Everybody finally realized who she is and that all she does is talk shit about people, because until the tape started rolling, nobody knew she talked about everybody behind their back. They thought she was just sweet and like the mother of the group. No, her mask is falling and they can see her for who she is. Ross also only realized tonight that she is the way she is. He was turned off not by the comments she made about him, but the comments she made about everybody else. He didn't realize she was that type of person. Gabby was also exposed for the way she played in Jotham's face with Alex. Jotham finally stood up for himself and she just wasn't having it. She can't speak. She just can't have a conversation like an adult. She just reacts. It's kind of embarrassing because you're a grown ass woman. You just don't know how to have a conversation and own up to your mistakes. Dylan actually stood up for Jotham, which of course she didn't like. Dylan stood up for him and was like, this is the first time he's actually defended himself here. It's obvious that you lied to him about flirting with other guys and then tried to blame him for doing the same. You're a hypocrite. She didn't like it. She didn't like it at all. She just was screaming. We can see the divide between the OG girls and the new bombshells. Of course, they were literally sitting separately at movie night and they just kept going at each other. We also ended this week with getting our new final bombshells, Josh and Cody. Now Josh is another Irish guy. I mean, we actually get more Irish people on Love Island Australia than we do in Love Island UK, where we're literally just next door. It's kind of weird. Why do we keep bringing in Irish people onto Love Island Australia? I don't know. There's 3 of them in the villa now. Enough is enough. And the voiceover guy is also Irish. Are we okay? Cody, I think, is going to turn a lot of heads. As soon as they played her clip, Dylan was already like, Gabby who? She was kicking and screaming because Dylan wasn't talking to her and she thinks Dylan's going to be interested in the bombshell. Meanwhile, he's downstairs talking to the guys saying, yeah, Gabby has something to be worried about. I don't care. That's my type, and he's going to play on it 100%. Next week we'll bring drama for sure. This week though was a lot of Yana and Kai following each other around the villa and Gabby crying. Honestly, yeah, it was a kind of fast forward type of week, a filler episode, but the movie night was good. It was spread across 2 nights. We did get some drama. I think it'll unfold into next week and it'll be our last full week, I guess, and then we'll have winners. So I'm looking forward to next week and hopefully the new bombshells are going to shake it up a bit. Gabby's definitely going to be screaming. Let me know all your guys' thoughts on this week's episodes and we'll talk in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you guys don't miss next week's video, and I will see you guys back here next week.